The BBC's Yusuf Taha, who is with me now, an Egyptian. You've been speaking to people I know already back at home, I'm sure, and I wonder just how divided opinion is in Egypt at this moment. This is a man who ruled the country for 30 years.
Which is a very, very long time, and some people in Egypt only knew Mubarak until their 30s because he took over in 1981 on the assassination of the former president Anwar Sadat, who was killed during a military parade on October 6, 1981. Mubarak was his vice president, which is quite cynical that he never appointed a vice president for himself until his final year in office. He often said that without him there would be chaos in Egypt, that he was the only fit man to rule Egypt and keep everything on track and everything ticking along. And that's why with the uprising in 2011, he refused to step down several times, and he made 4 speeches during the 18-day uprising. And the impression at the time was that each speech was 24 hours late, or too late rather. When he eventually stepped down and he said that he would never leave Egypt, that he was born on the soil of Egypt and he would die in Egypt, something that many in Egypt actually praised because he did not flee like the former Tunisian president Zain al-Abidine Ben Ali, who went to Saudi Arabia until his death. He always said that he was a soldier and he would live as such until the day he died. His legacy is very divided because he ruled Egypt for just over 29 years. He kept it stable. At the same time, he had the Islamist uprising rather against him, trying to remove him from office. You know, the Islamists are the ones who assassinated Sadat in 81. And in 1997, it was Islamist extremists who massacred around 60 foreign tourists, mainly Japanese and Swiss, in Hatshepsut Temple in the south of the country.
And Yusuf, during his 30 years in power, there was emergency law in Egypt. What was ordinary life like for people under his rule?
Not the easiest, because the emergency rule was imposed on the death of Sadat, and Mubarak never really lifted it. He kept on extending it and renewing it ever since until his final days in office. That meant that you could be held in custody on any charge indefinitely. And also, you would be stopped in the street and asked for your identity papers, and you might be taken away while they investigate, and you'd be kept there until pretty much everyone forgot all about you. When the uprising happened in 2011, protesters raided some of the offices of the high state security, and they found underground rooms with skeletons in them. And these were political dissidents who were made to disappear.
And any reaction from Sisi's office?
It has just issued a statement reporting the death of the former president, Hosni Mubarak, and saying that he was a great man who achieved a lot, and they offer their condolences to his family. It's a very, very curt statement. And I think the military now in the country are trying to decide what to do with him, whether to give him a military funeral or not.
That was something Sally was reflecting on as well. Lots of discussion in Egypt today. Yusuf, thank you.